Hello, I'm Troy Parker, President of Innovative Labor and Cleaning, and this is another Mental Health Monday. Today I want to talk to you about diet. Now, not what you eat and put in your mouth, but your mental diet, what you put in your mind. Now, over the past few videos, we've talked about goal setting. We've talked about things that you want to accomplish this year, 2023. But one thing we have to touch on is, one, the understanding of how our mind works. Most people don't realize we pick up information mainly from outside sources. We've been doing it ever since we were little. Our parents, grandparents, teachers, friends, those are the people that we took in information from, and either we believed it and took it as true, and that created a mental program in our mind. Our parents who might have told us, hey, don't go outside with your head wet, you're gonna get sick, or don't do something else, or this will happen to you. These things that people have told us and that we thought were authorities went into our minds, and then they've created our personalities. We pick up some from TV, church, other institutions, but many times we never stop to think if the information we're getting from these sources are really true. My mother was famous for telling me the one about going outside with your hair wet, you're gonna get sick. My parents, they would tell you one member of the family might have diabetes. They say, well, you're probably gonna get diabetes. It runs in the family. It's in our genetics. But is it really? Many times, and science has proven this, things that we believe and manifest in our life, not because they were true and scientifically proven, is because our belief in them. How many people walk around talking about, my luck's always bad, I can never hold a job, I always have problems with finding a mate or keeping a mate, and they constantly say this, not realizing that they're dooming themselves with their very own words. But back to our mental diet. The people that we hang around at work, in our families, that are constantly bombarding us with thoughts, are they giving you good information? In other words, if you were sitting down to dinner with your family and I came in with a bag of garbage and just dumped it all over your dinner table, you would be ready to basically beat my butt, and rightly so. But many times people will put garbage into our minds and we won't say anything about it. In the African American community, our radio programming. Now I know everybody's gonna get up in arms and say, wait, I like my black music. But look and ask yourself, is that music helping you or hurting you? Now, back in the day, because I'm older, when rap music first came out and it was just, rhyme songs about life, it was enjoyable. But then it quickly changed to where we are debasing our female, glorifying killing, glorifying illegal ways of life, and everyone in our culture took on to this and said, this is the way to be. We want to be out there in them streets. We want to be in the club, making it rain, doing things like that. Let's look at our music. Music is one of the ways, and radio and TV are one of the ways we get a lot of information. Most of you at work either keep your headsets on, listening to various music. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself, is this music helping me to reach my goals? Because we've been talking about goals. And you have goals for yourself, your children, and the music and the things your children listen to. Is listening to the radio station or the music that's played on these stations gonna help your children reach their goal or push them farther back? Now, after being in prison, the drug life, the life of crime, the partying, being in the club, it usually only leads to two places, either one, the penitentiary, or two, the cemetery. But you'll hear it a little bit in the music, but they glorify the high points of it, but they don't really talk much about the low. But we will spend our dollars, listen to these stations. All the time, they're slowly killing off our children's dreams and our dreams. And that's what I mean by mental diet. Now, I'm not saying, hey, everybody go out here and stop listening to rap music or black radio stations. But I am saying, hey, take a look at this. Now, let's look at this for a minute. If you look at other music out there, country, rock and roll, or any other genre of music, show me one that basically sings about or makes music about tearing down their own people. Now, you'll hear country music talking about a little drinking. They'll talk about problems with their mate. Rock and roll, they'll talk about, like they always say, sex, drugs, rock and roll. So they'll talk about a little sex. But it isn't like our music. Our music is very different. Ask yourself, why is that? You won't hear them talking about running down the street, shooting up a bunch of people, or putting a hot one in someone, or blasting somebody, or anything like that. Ask yourself, why is that? Then ask yourself this. If you or anyone else continuously listens to this, what do you think is teaching them? Well, I'll tell you. The way the mind works is anything that you repetitively hear and actually put feeling to, and that's why the music is so powerful because if you remember or know from African culture, when we would do our spiritual dances and ceremonies, we did them to music because the music creates kind of a trance state, and you go into the trance and it helps you to use their spiritual powers and bring things into manifestation. But that is the same if you use it for a negative way. It's kind of like electricity. You can use it to cook the chicken, or you can use it to electrocute yourself. It's the same with our music today. The same trance state is being created when you listen to the rap music. They get involved in the music. How many times have you heard the music to a song and just liked the music, kept listening to it month after month, and then one day you see your grandkid or your kid sing the lyrics and you say, hey, wait a minute, what the hell? What was that? What did they say? And you never really listened to the words. Now, you might not have consciously paid attention to any of the words, but your subconscious mind took them in all the time. Even Cedric the Entertainer, I seen him at one of his shows, and he was talking about the song, The Down in the DM. And he talked about how he just loved the beat, and he was listening to it, and he said one day his daughter or somebody was actually singing the words. And he was like, hey, man, what that says what? And it is true of many parents. We'll hear the melodies, and even young people, they'll hear the melody and they don't pay attention to the words at first. And in young people, they don't really care what the words say because it's on the radio, and they think, well, it's on the radio, it must be okay. So in our mental diet, we have to be the ones who take the time and look and see, like, wait a minute, this is what it's saying. Is this really going to help promote my life and the life of those who I love? Because if it's not, maybe it's time to cut back on that or look at other ways of entertainment. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, oh man, that's going to take a lot of work, because people are lazy. I'm just going to be honest. Most people are lazy. They don't want to have raise the kids as it is, so they'll either give them a tablet, the television, a computer, or something bigger. Just go play with your tablet. Just go. And then the kid just goes around, okay, I'm just going to look at this. And next thing you know, they're off into all kind of things. Then next thing you know, you're getting a call from the school or someone else, and you're like, well, I don't know how they got into that. We are the ones who control what our kids take in, what we take in. And our mental diet is critical, because what you take into your mind is what's going to reflect out to you in life. Like I explained to you, it's a mirror. And what you put in front of that mirror, good or bad, the mirror has to reflect it back. Take the time and think about these things. And I'm not saying change overnight, because even myself, I'm not going to sit here and say I never listen to rap music, but I'll be honest, I rarely listen to radio stations. I'll pick certain songs off of YouTube or Pandora, a genre of music, no cussing, no killing, no debasing or downgrading women, and listen to things like that. But if that's not what you want to do, just keep in mind, whatever you put in, like they say, garbage in, garbage out. So when you look at your life and you wonder why you're having certain problems, these could be areas you look in to see, like, wait a minute, what if I've been putting into my subconscious mind that mental computer I talked to you about? Because once the computer program goes in, it's in there, and the program just starts playing, and then you're going to basically be the puppet to the program, and you're going to act out the things you either hear in songs or hear in the street that you hear guys talk about at work. And this happens to all cultures. It's not just African American culture. So keep watch on what your mental diet is, and then take the time to plan out, just like you plan out what you're going to eat, plan out what you're going to let into your mind, because that's going to control your life. I hope this has helped you, and as always, remember, it's up to you to make your life matter.